Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Smackdown Live. It is anything but live, let's be honest. With this current schedule, we could probably just say next week's episode is live here. But anyway, we are here tonight in Alamogordo, New Mexico, fresh off a Survivor Series. And yep, we're on the brand that won. We are with the Dangerous Alliance, and there has been so much that has gone on over these last just few days to just take in, and I can't take in any of it. I especially can't take in whatever the hell happened on Raw. I have no idea what that was about. I have no idea what to say, but one person who will gladly say something about it is the WWE Champion Bobby Fish, the sole survivor from Survivor Series, the man who eliminated Dolph Ziggler to win it for the Dangerous Alliance. I'm sure he's going to have something to say, and I'm sure he's going to love saying it. One thing's for sure, I am going to rue every word he says, because I am sick and tired of this man's face being up, being around, and just... The very last thing I want to see right now is Bobby Fish, but I have to endure with him right away. It's alright, because we're focused to our main event. Oh no, the Dangerous Alliance are in that as well. Okay, great. Just what I wanted. Yeah, that's right, Roman Reigns, the man who eliminated the World Tag Team Champions on his own, essentially, will go one-on-one against Shinsuke Nakamura in a rematch from a few weeks ago. No Bullet Club to cause a distraction this time around, so the big question is, will the leader of the Roman Empire be able to knock off the King of Strong Style, or will Nakamura perhaps be too perplexed with something along the lines of Kevin Owens, maybe, to focus on Roman Reigns? Or will it be a best of both worlds for Nakamura? Will he be able to oversee Kevin Owens and knock off Roman Reigns? We'll find out, but before we get to all that, we've got to listen to Bobby Fish. Oh, God. Oh, God, he's here. If you just took a moment to go through my head everything that has gone through in the last, 48 hours, you'd realize that this is the last person I want to see. Because I already know what Fish is going to do. He's gonna come out here, he's gonna run his mouth, talk about the victory, and then say it was somehow him who single-handedly brought about the destruction of the Bullet Club. That's what Bobby Fish does. That's what he does. Yep, I was right. Yep, there we go. And now he's talking about how he single-handedly brought about the destruction of the Bullet Club. Yeah, Fish, you're totally right. Yeah, you did all of that, mate. You keep telling yourself that. You keep telling yourself that watching Dolph Ziggler fall to the fish hook was the real reason why Adam Cole did what he did on Raw. And look at Fish now continuing to gloat about it. It's no surprise that he was the sole survivor. There's no one better than him. There's no one greater than him. And no one deserved to stand in the ring with greatness in that moment. Do you want to talk about greatness being Bullet Club? Well, no. Greatness stands for one man, and in his mind, it's Bobby Fish. But that does not mean that it's just about Bobby Fish. It's time to turn more focus towards people in the Dangerous Alliance, and one of those men is Roman Reigns. After his incredible performance, a deal was garnered whereby Roman Reigns is the new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And as for Bobby Fish, well, it's business as usual. The WWE Champion will continue on his ever-dominant reign and wait for another fool to try and step up to him. Fish doesn't care who it is, because in his mind, there is no one who can come close. After what he did at Survivor Series, it is game, set, and match for proving he is the greatest champion of all time. Bobby Fish, ever the gloater, ever the one who loves to run his mouth. Some of that he got right. The sole survivor part, yeah. Turning more focus to the Dangerous Alliance, yeah. The reason why the Bullet Club is dying, allegedly, hell no. I think perhaps the most interesting thing to take away from all of that was what he said at towards the end. We have a new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, and it's Roman Reigns. That is, I guess, something interesting to take into effect. Just think about that. His performance, which, as much as I hate to admit it, was very impressive. He eliminated 2/3 of the people in the matchup. You know, the prior traditional Survivor Series match, that didn't happen. Each member of the 4 Horsemen picked up an elimination each. But for him to do what he did, for Roman Reigns to eliminate 2 out of 3, I guess it does deserve an opportunity like that, and I guess that's why he's going to be the #1 contender. And it's interesting that he'll be challenging Kenny Omega as well for the Intercontinental Championship come the next SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. Just take that into perspective right now. That is a very, very interesting predicament for Kenny Omega to deal with. You know, you got someone who had a great Survivor Series. You know, like did as well as he did against Kenny Omega, who right now is could be on a potential downward spiral, as much as I hate to admit it. Think about it. Clean swept at Survivor Series, tapped out to the Lion Tamer from Chris Jericho, and as he found out last night, himself and the Young Bucks have been officially removed from the Bullet Club, courtesy of the now former leader, Adam Cole, baby. Not usually I like to talk about you know, things that are going on in other brands and let it use up time on this show, but just take last night into effect. Just realize what the hell happened last night on Raw. An absolute nightmare happened. The worst thing that I could imagine happened, but he will pay for what he did. Adam Cole screwed over the Bullet Club. Adam Cole was selfish enough to let the Bullet Club do its own thing. Adam Cole, he screwed over the Bullet Club so he could have the last laugh. That is not the action of a leader. That's the action of a coward. That's the action of someone who does not want to lead their brand. That's the action of someone who's almost scared to try and lead a group no more. And if that's how he wanted to operate, if that's what Adam Cole wants to do, then so be it. He's now just made himself public enemy #1 of the Bullet Club. Remove the Elite. That doesn't make you any less of an issue to deal with on Monday Night Raw. You still have the Good Brothers breathing down your neck. And you still have Dolph Ziggler breathing down your neck. Just think about that. Elite or not, it is not going to be a fun time for you on Raw. You want to try and take Ziggler's world title away from him? Get in line. Many others do, and many have tried, and many have failed. Just think about that. So what makes Adam Cole think that he is suddenly so great that he can destroy the Bullet Club? How is one man going to destroy the Bullet Club? How is one person going to be able to take the titles away from the Bullet Club? How is Adam Cole going to take the women's title away from Paige? Just put that into perspective. He isn't. Plain and simple. And he isn't going to stop the Bullet Club from running this place. If Ziggler wants to take over as leader, let him. I'm sure he'll do a great job. Look at how great of a job he did at Survivor Series. It doesn't matter if we won or lost. The fact of the matter was Ziggler led us in, injured. Every member of that Bullet Club was injured that went into Survivor Series. They all fought with their heart. They all fought with everything they had. And they were inches away from winning. And why were they injured? Because Adam Cole was selfish enough to screw them over. And if that's the game you want to play, Adam Cole, then so be it. But you will rue the day you turned your back on your family. And your family will put you out to dust. Your family will put you out to dry. You're the one who wanted to start this all. Well, we'll finish it. You want to be the tumor that threatens to ruin the Bullet Club? Well, we'll just take you out. And we'll just get rid of you and move on. Because that's what the Bullet Club does. It doesn't focus on the past. It looks forward to the future. We adapt, we improve, and we overcome. And we'll do just that with Adam Cole, baby. We're not scared of you, Cole. You may know our tricks, but we know yours. In and out. Every last piece of it. What makes you think you carry any kind of advantage when you want to go after Ziggler? I don't know, but welcome to your version of a deathbed. You've laid it out for many others in the past. Now we lay one out for you. And that's all I want to say on that. I don't want to think about Adam Cole anymore, but I'm sure I'll be forced to at some point, considering Kenny Omega will have a few things to say later on tonight. But with that being said, going to focus on this match right now. Ricochet and Alexander Wolfe going one-on-one. Of course, both members of tag teams. Ricochet representing Future Shock. Alexander Wolfe representing MKULTRA. Two teams who have been getting a few more wins under their belts as of late. And the two teams looking to get their name back up there for the tag team titles. It was, of course, Future Shock who had the shot a few weeks ago and came very, very close to becoming the tag team champions. Just a shame that they didn't really, but the Young Bucks were the better team on the night. Alexander Wolfe, though, since his debut, has really ignited a spark within MKUltra, and they're looking to continue on with it. Well, one thing's for certain is there's a team that has to be paid attention to as well, and they'll be up in action next. Look at this now by Alexander Wolfe. Death Valley driver for Ricochet in the middle of the ring, and there may be nowhere for him to go after this one. Can Ricochet still put out a counter? Yes, he can. Big knee in the face there. On the outside now he goes, and I think he's going over to his MKUltra's corner where Harper and Raven are. Springboard 450. Work of magic there by Ricochet, and he's right into the cover, looking for the victory. Will he get it here? No, he won't. No, look at this, talking a bit of trash to Alexander Wolfe. Kind of surprising that he would do that, but I guess that's something that Ricochet wanted to do for whatever reason. Nice Hurricanrana there, though, and he'll go to the top rope again. Will he look for the 630 this time around? Yes, he will. 630 splash by Ricochet. Amazing how he can hit it from seemingly nothing into the cover with 1, 2. Oh, Alexander Wolfe kicks out of the 630. Ricochet into another cover here, looking to try and put it away, and that time Wolfe kicks out. Harper standing on thin air for some apparent reason. 2 covers there on Wolfe, and Wolfe kicks out twice. The strength that this man possesses. Discus forearm though, and oh, it's cracked him open. Wolfe is busted open as a result of it now, and he looks like he could be in some trouble. And Ricochet is capitalizing to the best of his ability. Smart thinking there from Ricochet. Uh-oh, though, counter by Wolfe. What could we see develop from this? Wolfe now gonna look for his power bomb. There it is. Sit down power bomb into the cover. 1, 2. Ricochet defeated, and a big win for Alexander Wolfe, and a big win for MKUltra as well. That is exactly what they were looking for, and that is something that Wolfe can be proud of. Lovely victory there for Alexander Wolfe, and as MKUltra watch on as he celebrates in the ring on his own. Waits to be seen now. There is a tag team division wide open for the Young Bucks. There are a lot of teams breathing down their neck, I imagine, and we'll see if one of them is going to be MKUltra heading forward. I believe there's a real chance for them to stick their name in the hat and go for it now. Smackdown Live has become almost a grand opportunity for tag teams to make a name for themselves. Future Shock and MKUltra proving it, but tonight it looks as if MKUltra that one step ahead, and they want the next shot at the tag team titles. Best of luck, guys, because there's a team that made their debut not too long ago that want to get their name in it as well. That team is War Machine, and they're up next. War Machine's debut a few weeks ago, knocking off the Ascension, was pretty damn big for them, and now they look to continue on their momentum. Now they look to continue on their Smackdown Live career by knocking off the Revival this time around. Former WWE Tag Team Champions, the Revival as well. So it is a big win for War Machine if they should get it. Like I said, this Smackdown Live Tag Team division bursting with competition right now, bursting with teams hungry for that chance. And it's not just like it's the young teams that are you know, bursting with life. It is the older teams as well. The Revival are looking for those second tag team titles. You got maybe even the Dangerous Alliance at some point might look for it. There is, you know, there are a lot of teams right now that want to go for that title. But it's also the question of, once they get to that title, can they overcome the Young Bucks? Because one thing's for sure, regardless of what happened in Survivor Series, and regardless of this whole Bullet Club situation, the Young Bucks are pretty damn good. They were able to take, you know, they've defeated so many teams over the last, you know, few times as tag team champions. They defeated the Revival to win the titles. They retained over Future Shock. They beat the Four Horsemen on ECW. They went into enemy territory and picked up a win. Just realize how significant that is. So as great it is to see so much competition coming for the Young Bucks, they are a tough team to go for as well because of how great they are. But I think if War Machine do get that shot, the Young Bucks better count their lucky charms. because these guys are difficult. These guys are dangerous. They were such a dominant force in NXT. They weren't even there for that long. They were jumped. They were there for, so they weren't even there for a long period of time. They were just given the jump to SmackDown because I think the SmackDown committee became aware of how great this team really is. Of how, you know, how much just they stood out in that NXT tag team division. And how much they had a huge future in this business just waiting for them. And SmackDown Live did the right thing in picking them up as quickly as they possibly could. And I've got to commend them from that for beating me and Raw to the punch. But with that being said, they've made it to the big stage. And now they've got to try and survive on it. And they've got to try and do that here against the Revival. Like I said, this isn't going to be an easy match. Former tag team champions. And they won those titles in an incredible fashion as well. A tag team turmoil match. It was absolutely incredible to watch them win it. And I do wish their title reign was longer because they took so much time to get there. And it was such a great moment really to see these guys win it. And it was all taken away from them so fast. And now with all the new teams coming into SmackDown Live and with all this hungry competition, the Revival, I don't want it to be the same case. You know, watching the Revival and the Ascension just kind of getting swept by as a result of it all. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest, to see two great teams like that just struggling. But I guess it might be a case of, you know, an out with the old, in with the new type situation. The last thing I want is to see the Revival racking up the losses. They are a great team, two great athletes, two top guys, of course, and they do not deserve to be suffering repeated losses. Hansen right now having a little bit of difficulty, I would argue, with Scott Dawson, but nothing. I don't think he's ever had to, you know, nothing new for him to handle. And here we go, tag made now. In comes Raymond Rowe, and he is in position. Oh God, what a big boot there for Dawson to run into. Makes the tag into Dash Wilder though. Let's see what he'll do. Big running drop kick. Big head of steam for Wilder. And it's brought to an abrupt halt. Overhead belly to belly. And he is sent very much so on his way there. It's a nasty collision for Dash Wilder. And into the turnbuckle he went there. And another belly to belly attempt. This time he gets out of it. Good stuff. Back and forth counters here, and there's that drop kick connecting again. This time Raymond Rowe unable to get right back up to his feet. Huge lariat in mind there, and a perfect counter by Dash Wilder. That's something that the Revival are about. They're not about flashy offense. They're about the perfect counters. They're about those expertly timed maneuvers that I guess, you know, top guys in the business would be able to understand and counter their way into. It's one thing to have a, you know, a flashy counter. It's another thing to have an effective counter. And I think that's everything that the Revival does is indeed effective. Got him in here for a suplex maybe. Surprised he was able to lift up the big man in Raymond Rowe, but it didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. Rowe now, backbreaker. Look at the strength of this man, holding Dash Wilder there for a second backbreaker to him. That is strength being shown right there by this member of War Machine. And a gut-wrench suplex as well will follow up with it. Clubbing blows into the head now. And this is where the matchup may well turn into a War Machine pack of dominance, really. Dash Wilder trying to make sure that isn't the case as he sends Raymond Rowe over the apron there and is tagging in Scott Dawson. Oh my God, into a German suplex. And the strength behind that German suplex was something to behold as well. And look at this now. Big forearm combo decks Scott Dawson. And it's the big man. Hansen's back in now. Man who has really been a standout athlete for War Machine. And if War Machine was to ever come to an end, which I'm not saying it should, but I'm saying if it did, then Hansen has a strong future in this business. He's proven it. His speed is one thing that you just don't expect him to have, and he has it, and he's incredible when it comes to his speed as well. Look at this now, and there's the power game of him as well to execute something like that. An easy overhead belly to belly. Didn't even make it look hard. Great counter though by Scott Dawson. He needed to find his way out of that one. And that was a beautiful bit of work. Can he find an opening now? Going after the leg of the big man. Trying to take it away from him. Will they be able to find an opening here to try and isolate Hansen? And could this be a big upset maybe? Could this be a huge win for the Revival? Look at this now. Over the shoulder powerbomb. Into the cover, but no. Hansen's tangled himself up in the ropes there. And a big neck breaker will send down Raymond Rowe. It's good stuff right now for the Revival. Oh, but they let him have an opening. Scott Dawson let Hansen get out of the ring. And now all of a sudden, he's paying for it. Launched across the ring there. With that just kind of throwaway suplex more so than anything. Counter again though by Scott Dawson. Oh, he's sending him into the turnbuckle. It could be. It could. Oh, no. It's not going to be. He's put him up on the top. Oh, my God. It's not going to be the Shatter Machine, but something could still well be shattered in this one. From the top rope. Superplex. Both men down on the outside. Not usual. You see a big-time move like that being hit by Scott Dawson. But I guess anything to get the win, maybe. Uh-oh, we're going the other way now. We'll show why Hansen decided to send him this way, perhaps just to try and create an opening for himself. Look at how far he's able to launch Scott Dawson as well. Back in the ring now, we are able to go. And what will Hansen look for now? Will he look to make the tag into his partner? It is exactly that he's looking for. War Machine doing a great job in this one of holding this to their kind of match. Letting it go the way they want to go. And letting the beatdown of the Revival being a huge thing to take into account. Big counter though by Scott Dawson. But he's caught and all sent down with a hard clothesline. What will Raymond Rowe look for now? He's sending him back into the turnbuckle. There'll be another tag. Oh no, it's going to be this. It's going to be this. Take a look at this. From the top. Leg drop by Hansen. Thank you for coming, Revival. But I fear this may well be the end of this one. The cover, the count, there's two. Victory for War Machine. And man, was that a tough fight, to be fair, at the end of it all. It was not as if they just walked in and destroyed the Revival. They had to take a lot of offense, and it just goes to show how hungry this tag team division as a whole really is. And I gotta give credit where credit's due. I like that. I like how hungry this division is. I like that everyone in it is looking for victory, and it's War Machine who will celebrate their victory here tonight. But the question is, the same that I asked in the MKULTRA match, who's next in line for the Young Bucks? A lot of teams want it, only one's gonna get it. And I guess we'll have to find out who it's gonna be, and rather soon, because the next Smackdown Live pay-per-view is coming on New Year's Eve, so they got a little over a month to decide what they want to do in that regard. But there we go. We're going to move on now to our next contest. Survivor Series was a shocking night for many regards, but one huge thing that we had coming out of it was the only new champion crowned on the night, and that was the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. And that is a sentence that I didn't think I would be saying, I'll be honest. She's in action up next. It's AJ Lee against the new champion, Nikki Cross. Well, I can't wait to see this one. She was only 24 hours without a title, and now she's on the biggest stage. It's a great... I don't know, there's just something about it that's just so nice to see for her. And she's got a great first opponent as well to deal with as well. Don't think that, you know, AJ Lee by any means is a slouch, because she isn't. She's one of those people who fought Winter in the past, and she came so close in her attempt at winning the title. So it's not as if she was decimated. But the fact, I guess, kind of still remains that she was just another one of those people who fell to the wrath of Winter when she was the champion. But now, there's a new woman in town. There's a new sheriff who's taken over the reins of this division, and her name is Nikki Cross. Winter said she wanted to take on anyone, and I guess Nikki Cross took that one literally. As I said, 24 hours after losing her NXT Women's Championship to Kairi Sane, along comes Nikki Cross, and she, all of a sudden, is the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. A pitch-perfect night. A pitch-perfect weekend in some ways for Nikki Cross. I guess it would have been even better if she was able to hold on to both titles, but you can't always get what you want. What we are getting here tonight is the main roster debut of Nikki Cross. What will this mean for the SmackDown Live Women's Division? I don't know. But it's got a hell of a lot more insane. That's one thing to take into account. Whoever would have thought that that belt would be on someone else's, would belong to someone else, would be around someone else's waist, with the dominance that Winter was able to execute with that belt for so long. I didn't think so, but Nikki Cross certainly did her best to take that title away, and take it away she did, and she became the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. She's been a champion before, but not on a stage like this one. So many more eyes on her, so much more attention being paid, so much more pressure on her shoulders as well. The question being, can Nikki Cross act on it? Will it matter to her one bit? Or will she just enjoy beating up some fresh faces on SmackDown Live? One thing's for certain, even though she picked up that win, even though she is the new champion, do not think that the old champion is done at all. Do not think the Winter's just let it slip by and is just going to focus on something else, because she isn't. This is the start of a long road for Nikki Cross that, for all we know, could end in a month at the next SmackDown Live pay-per-view. But while she's got that title, expect Nikki Cross to prove that she deserves to be on SmackDown Live, and that this was another, just like with War Machine, another outstanding signing by the SmackDown Live roster. Shortly after Survivor Series, they made sure that she was named as someone on the roster, and now Nikki Cross makes her in-ring debut for SmackDown Live here tonight. I was right, when she won the title, she wasn't a member of the SmackDown Live roster. She was still on NXT, and it was a quick bit of work that had to be done with the SmackDown committee and the NXT general managers to get her from NXT to SmackDown Live. That is a huge loss as well for the NXT Women's Division, to lose Nikki Cross, one of the, I guess, founders of it, really. And now they have to focus on the new NXT Women's Champion, Kairi Sane, and where they'll go from there. But it's not about NXT right now. It's about SmackDown Live. And it's about what Nikki Cross will be able to do in this ring here. Big clothesline by Cross, as AJ Lee is already feeling the effects of Nikki Cross. I'm going to go outside of the ring early on here. Tried to play possum with Cross, but that just wasn't working out. Oh, into the barricade there. I think I said this on TakeOver, that when you're on the outside with Nikki Cross, she will use everything to her advantage, because that's what she likes to do. Looking for a neck breaker there. Good counter by AJ Lee, and all of a sudden now, a choke STO, or choke drop, I guess, much in the same way that we saw Alexa Bliss execute one last night on Raw. AJ Lee would be an incredible feat for AJ Lee if she was able to beat the champion in her first match on this roster. It would almost be a huge spoiler in regards to everything if Nikki Cross was to be defeated. Up against the ropes now, and actually sent in between them is Nikki Cross. She gets out of the way of that one though, and look at the power now of Cross, slamming her down. And here goes Cross, acting in her own way. The headbutts, the repeated headbutts into AJ Lee. Good counter though by AJ Lee, but a counter back there by Nikki Cross brings that one to an abrupt halt. Back and forth by both women. Cross's SmackDown Live debut, as I said, not going to be a walk in the park, and a tough match it is being. AJ Lee giving her a lot of tough fight right now, but the champion is doing a good job and almost put her away there with that Samoan driver. Off the ropes, nope. Nikki Cross actually going to pull her back in, and a big sidewalk slam will connect. Up on the top rope now. What will Cross look for here? This is her third match. Think about it. This is her third match in just a few days. And Nikki Cross is looking as fresh as ever. That just goes to show how kind of deluded Nikki Cross really is. She could be seriously hurt right now, but she isn't showing a sign of it. And the way she's taken it to AJ Lee in this one as well, she certainly isn't showing any weakness. She's showing her strength. Big headbutt up against sends AJ Lee up against the ropes now. And look at how Cross is able to go to work here, dumping her on the top rope. This is the power of the champion. This is why she was the only one who could dethrone Winter, it seems. It may not have been the element of surprise, but it may well have just been the incredible wrestling ability of Nikki Cross. Once again, the slam down with that choke STO by AJ Lee, who's just looking for some kind of opening here against the champion, more so than anything. Looked like she wanted a sliced bread there. Sliced bread, my apologies. Countered there by Nikki Cross. And oh, another headbutt for AJ Lee to endure. And you saw that AJ Lee was trying to grab her and Cross was just evading her ever so slightly. And another Samoan driver will connect on the money. And now I don't think there's much time left in this one for AJ Lee to try and cause a spoiler, to try and defeat Nikki Cross, because I think this one's about to be over. Fisherman's suplex, neck breaker by Cross. The very move that won her the women's title at Survivor Series will be the very move that she'll use to defeat AJ Lee with here tonight. Good victory for Nikki Cross. Welcome to the big stages. This is your NXT Women's Champion. No, it's not. This is your SmackDown Live Women's Champion. This is the woman who dethroned Winter. And this is the woman who's trying to prove that she is damn unstoppable as the champ. Can anyone come close to trying to take this belt away from her? I don't know. But there she is, your champion. And what is next for Nikki Cross? What will be next in mind? What will be down the line? Is it a rematch with Winter for Cross, or is it a fresh face challenging her? Either way, Cross just proved that despite this being her third match in pretty much just as many days, she's not one bit fatigued, she's not one bit worn out, and she's always ready to fight. And you gotta commend that about her, and that is why I think she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. That never say die attitude, and the always wanting to fight. Nikki Cross, what a debut for you. From one champion to another, we're gonna move on now, because coming up next, we're gonna hear from the Intercontinental Champion, Kenny Omega. It was a disastrous night for the Elite. It was a disastrous night for the Bullet Club as a whole. And now, with the Elite no longer, remember the Bullet Club, per Adam Cole saying, now we see what Kenny Omega will have to say in response to that. That is up next. Well, here he is. And I do wonder what's going through his mind. It has been a rough, a rough time for him to think about where does Kenny Omega go from here? Where does the Elite go from here? I guess that's what we'll get answered here tonight. I'm looking forward to finding out what he'll say, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried for him, you know. This was a member of our family who just got kind of kicked out, and look at him, the way he's standing around. It's almost as if it's not easy for him to talk about it. And that is exactly that. Kenny Omega feels as if he was wronged by what Adam Cole. He was the Bullet Club itself was wronged by what Adam Cole did. But if he had to be removed from the Bullet Club, and if nothing's going to be done to change that decision, then so be it. The Elite will go solo. The Elite will go alone. But look at the difference from Omega there. There's kind of more credible attitude to him. Congratulations to Chris Jericho. You know, at Survivor Series, they were the better team. They proved us all wrong. They're not fossils, but rather they are just something that never ages. The Four Horsemen were the better group, and the Elite realized that. But there we go. That's more the Omega that we've come to see. That's a more confident Kenny Omega, and there it is. Bullet Club or not, Elite or not, Kenny Omega's still got one thing he's always got to do, and that's defend his Intercontinental Championship. And at the end of this year, when he has to defend that championship against Roman Reigns, he will not back down. He will not refuse to fight him. Omega's got a point to prove. Omega's got to prove everyone wrong now. Everyone is doubting Kenny Omega, and he'll be sure on New Year's Eve to bid Roman Reigns goodbye, good night, and a happy new year, courtesy of the Cleaner. And I guess this is a case of Kenny Omega closing one door and opening the other and turning his mind towards something else. And so too does Kyle O'Reilly share that view. At Survivor Series, he closed the door on his feud with Randy Orton. And now it's about what is next for this man. What does Kyle O'Reilly see in his sights? O'Reilly says titles don't matter to him right now. He just wants to go out there and do what he loves to do every single night. And that's wrestle. And Kyle O'Reilly's going to do that here to... Oh my god, what? Well, it's Rusev! Rusev just following O'Reilly from behind. Oh no! Rusev attacking O'Reilly now! I had no idea Rusev was here tonight. He wasn't booked to compete. And now he's going after Kyle O'Reilly here. Dog! This was not supposed to happen at all. But O'Reilly will fight him off here. O'Reilly will try and fight him off anyway. Rusev is a man that has been on a tear as of late through Smackdown Live, and Kyle O'Reilly could well be the next one in his path. But O'Reilly trying to fight back here against Rusev. Big belly to belly though on the ramp, and now Rusev gets to go to work on trying to crush Kyle O'Reilly. Rusev's been pounding into O'Reilly, and it's getting worse for him. Oh my god, the super kick in the back of the head. And it's going to be followed up by this now, on the entrance ramp. The accolade by Rusev on O'Reilly. He's only just recovered from that grueling fight with Randy Orton. And now, Rusev's trying to break him in. Rusev looking to crush Kyle O'Reilly here tonight on that ramp. He's got this locked in with no way of O'Reilly trying to escape it. He is refusing to let go of it until O'Reilly's submitted. And O'Reilly can't take the pressure anymore. Rusev just pummeled into Kyle O'Reilly for his own self-gain. And look at this now. The referee trying to stop this. Referee trying to stop Rusev from getting his hands on O'Reilly anymore. Rusev just completely destroyed Kyle O'Reilly there. I don't know why and I don't know what for, but I imagine Lana will be able to give us the reasoning for that one. I imagine Lana will have a few things to say. I imagine she's very happy with what her husband just did here. Rusev showing that, I guess, the focus should be on Rusev, not on O'Reilly. But my god, was that a beatdown at the hands of Rusev. Well, I'm not too sure what the reasoning for that one was, and I'm not too sure why Rusev did that. But one thing's for certain, O'Reilly doesn't even get a chance to breathe, apparently, on the SmackDown Live roster without someone else wanting to start attacking him. Without someone else wanting to prove their worth. And that man, it seems, is going to be Rusev. We're going to turn our attention away from that now and on to the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. The man who made Survivor Series an incredible night for him. Roman Reigns set to do battle with Shinsuke Nakamura here tonight. As I said, a rematch from a few weeks ago. This time though, there's no Bullet Club to cause a distraction. There's no Dolph Ziggler to come out here and give Nakamura a win. He's going to have to fight against a man who could well be on some of the biggest morale and the biggest momentum of his career. Roman Reigns made Survivor Series a night to remember his name. And now he looks to continue that here tonight in this matchup against Shinsuke Nakamura. What will this mean for the leader of the Roman Empire? What will this mean for Roman Reigns here? It was as I said, victory for the Dangerous Alliance, and it wasn't just the eliminations that counted as well. When Reigns was in that ring and he had to fight against Dolph Ziggler, I'm thinking just before he got eliminated, he endured so many zigzags. I think easily 2. There may have even been a 3rd one that I'm not remembering. Roman Reigns forced Dolph Ziggler to use everything on him to get the elimination. And I guess that was what made, and that could be a reason for why Ziggler just didn't have it left in him anymore to fight against to fight against Bobby Fish. But one thing's for certain, without Roman Reigns, I genuinely don't think the Dangerous Alliance would have won. I think Roman Reigns was that detrimental to their success. And now he's been rewarded with that shot against Kenny Omega at the next SmackDown Live pay-per-view. But here's a man who seems to be a little bit conflicted, a little bit getting into a problem that doesn't have much to do with him. Shinsuke Nakamura, almost the victim of the attack from Kevin Owens last week, but turned in the background against him. The question is, though, what does this mean for Nakamura going forward? What does the King of Strong Style have to do about this? I have no idea. But one thing is for certain, Nakamura, I don't think will take the attack lying down, you know. I mean, yes, he was able to fend off Owens last week and send him on his way. But at the same time, the fact that Owens came out and started that attack, initiated it against Nakamura, is a big enough story in itself. He went after Nakamura deliberately with the intention of hurting him, much the same as he had done to Finn Balor a few weeks ago. Balor's still not here. He still has not recovered. But the thing that is still important to pay attention to is that Nakamura seems to have been dragged into the limelight of it all now. Nakamura's been dragged into this situation. And whether he wants to be in it or not, Nakamura's not going to turn down a fight against Kevin Owens. Shinsuke Nakamura is... he could easily, I guess, make a claim to challenge for the WWE Championship. But what matters more to Nakamura, I guess? Titles or pride? And is there pride in fighting Kevin Owens? Is there pride in fighting Kevin Owens for the sake of his friend Finn Balor as well? If Balor can't fight the battle, will Nakamura fight it for him? What will Shinsuke Nakamura decide to do here? He's kind of stuck, really. He's got a lot he wants to do, I guess, but not a lot of... I guess. I don't know where my train of thought was going there. He's got a lot to do, but not a lot of time when you think about it. And it's either one thing or the other. He either goes for the title, which I think could easily happen for Nakamura. I mean, the last time he squared off against Fish was in an outstanding Iron Man match, half-an-hour Iron Man match, which he only just lost. But on the other side of things, if Owens is coming out saying he wants to hurt every single person, if he's saying he wants to hurt you because he doesn't respect you, is there a bit of honor in fighting that battle for Nakamura? Is there reason for Nakamura to want to fight this matchup now? I would say maybe so. I would say there certainly is a lot of honor towards fighting someone like Kevin Owens in that regard, even if Kevin Owens won't show the honor back. It certainly shouldn't be... something I guess that Nakamura should back down from, and it's not as if Nakamura backs down from fights. Like he's not backing down against this fight from Roman Reigns here tonight. But what will, if anything, will Kevin Owens be able to do here? Will that just be a one-off attack by Owens? Will Owens put his mindset elsewhere? I'm not too sure. And Nakamura cannot be too relaxed, I guess, at the thought of Kevin Owens, and he certainly can't be relaxed in this matchup either, because he's going up against Roman Reigns, who, as I said, is currently on the momentum of his life. Nakamura, though, looks ready for battle as always. The longest reigning world champion, looking to show why he was that. The former Intercontinental Champion, looking to assert his name back in the WWE title picture, maybe. I guess we're about to find out. Here we go. Reigns in one corner, Nakamura in the other. Let's get this one underway here. Look at that. Wow, Reigns from the off there. Did you see how quickly he walked over to Nakamura there? And just started going after him. Still still showing a lot of fight, I guess, despite what happened at Survivor Series. Despite his elimination, he is still just absolutely endorsing all of that momentum within him. But Nakamura will look to try and take that away from him. I guess Nakamura still got some momentum in him after what he did last week, laying out Kevin Owens. Landslide early on by Nakamura, forced to bring out the big guns against Roman Reigns right away, who's kicking out very early on. But here, speaking of kicks, here come the kicks of Nakamura as well. Knee in the gut, and look at that axe kick to send Reigns down. Counter there by Roman Reigns. This could be a problem for Nakamura as he's put up on the shoulders. Not going to be the case. Nakamura knew what he wanted to how he wanted to counter out of it, and he did just that. Up on the shoulders, and another landslide here by Nakamura. A little bit more away from the ropes. Trying to avoid the rope break there, but Roman Reigns still kicking out very early on. What a forearm there by Nakamura. Floored Roman Reigns with it there, and a big kick in the gut will send him down. This is a great stop by Nakamura. Kevin Owens or not, nothing, it seems, is distracting Shinsuke Nakamura here from taking the fight to Roman Reigns. Up on the top rope now, Nakamura. Oh, spinning heel kick from up high. Into the cover now, as he looks to try and put away Roman Reigns here early on. A 2 count. But Reigns is still showing his fight. I mean, you know, I've been spending this whole show talking about how Roman Reigns was able to turn, you know, how he was able to make Survivor Series a great night for him. But Nakamura has firmly tried to make it seem otherwise. Nakamura trying his best here to make this a great night for him and to really spoil the party for the new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Kick in the gut, but Reigns almost wanted that to happen. It looked like he just let it happen, and now he's pulling out the counter. Boston Crab in the middle of the ring here for Nakamura. As flexible as he may be, when you got a 260-pounder sitting down on your back, hooking those legs up, it is going to hurt. Look for something there, and oh, what a headbutt by Reigns. That is going to hurt with a hard Samoan head coming down on you. And oh, to the outside we go now. Well, Nakamura at the very least going on the outside. Referee starts his count here. What will Reigns look for now? That bit of disrespect there by Reigns, just shoving him down there with that boot. But Nakamura fighting back on the outside as well. Very even. Oh my god, into the ring pole there. Much more evenly matched than you may have been led on to think by me. I mean, I did actually think this was going to be, and no disrespect to Nakamura, but I did think Reigns was going to get far more offense in than he has in this match. Perhaps this just goes to show that you can never gloss over Shinsuke Nakamura. He's not by any means a pushover, a slouch, and he's proving it right now. Kinshasa! Oh my god! Cover on Reigns, and all Reigns is in the ropes. I bet Nakamura is not pleased with himself there, because that was a great opening to go for victory there on Reigns. But Nakamura's not letting it slip by him here. He's continuing the offense on Reigns right now. Although not for much longer, it seems. He goes over the shoulder of Roman Reigns. And now this could be the opening that Reigns was looking for. Roman Reigns now. Samoan drop. And Nakamura goes down. And now what can we see from Reigns here? Irish whip. Off the ropes goes Nakamura. Oh my god. Way up in the air and way down with a Superman punch by Reigns. Into the cover now. Looking for the win over Nakamura, and he's kicking out at 1. My goodness. That is something else. But Roman Reigns does not look like he's done here. Reigns in position. Oh, here we go. Clothesline by Reigns. And another one. Nakamura struggling a little here. Moves out of the way, though, that attempted clothesline by Reigns. Great stuff. Finds himself a slight opening. And Reigns looking a little frustrated by it now. Seems as if Reigns wanted to use that to try and close out this match, but Nakamura's made sure to keep this match well and truly alive. Reigns trying to chin lock there, but really want to try a chin lock against the King of Strong Style, a man who knows his way out of pretty much every wrestling hold in the book. Tilt-a-whirl DDT there will send Reigns down. Nakamura got him in position. Exploder suplex here, and Reigns could be in even more trouble. Will Nakamura look for another Kinshasa now to go for the victory on Reigns? Look at these kicks and strikes now, and Reigns, though, able to respond, sending him to the outside. And a big headbutt will send Nakamura down. A very evenly split main event. Nakamura's Kinshasa could be the difference if we were scoring this, but obviously it's a wrestling match. You don't score one of these. Roman Reigns now, what will he look for? On the outside, belly to belly on the thin padding. Doesn't matter who you are, you're going to feel the effect of that one, and it is going to hurt. Reigns has got him entirely in his grasp now. And what will he do to Nakamura? Going to send him back into the ring. Count up on 6 now. Well, now up to 7. Reigns just completely dominant right now. All of a sudden. And the crowd not really respecting that too much there. That cockiness from Reigns on the outside there. Oh my god, Reigns in the corner now. Going to look for victory here from out of the blue. Reigns, spear! Well, that one move there eliminated the World Tag Team Champions at Survivor Series. Will it be enough to beat Nakamura here tonight in the main event of Smackdown Live? The cover by Reigns for a big win here and a big message to Omega. Nakamura kicks out at 2. Kind of interesting that this match is going on, you know, as Reigns looks to... Oh my god, I may not have enough time to talk about it. Reigns in position. And another spear! Take note, Omega! This is the man gunning for your title. There's 2. There's 3. Roman Reigns, your winner in the main event here at SmackDown Live. That's the man who in just over a month will challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. That's the man who will take on Kenny Omega. Wait, hang on, Roman Reigns. Oh, Reigns isn't done here. Beating into Nakamura. If Kevin Owens wasn't going to do it, I guess Roman Reigns is going to be the one too. Reigns beating into Shinsuke Nakamura now. The #1 contender. Really letting Kenny Omega know that his days could well be numbered as champion. That is a dangerous alliance mentality, it seems. That was Roman Reigns leaving his mark on a former Intercontinental Champion in his own right. Could we be looking at the next Intercontinental Champion here in Roman Reigns? Is Kenny Omega about to kiss goodbye not only to the Bullet Club but to his Intercontinental Championship as well? And with Nakamura's loss here, will he be forced to go after Kevin Owens? Could it now be said that the door to Bobby Fish has been shut on him and the door to Kevin Owens is getting more and more open? We'll find out next week on SmackDown Live. A whole lot to talk about, I guess, coming out of this one. A very interesting show, to say the least. That'll end this episode. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.